Good evening, everyone, and welcome to you tonight, 9 o'clock update on November 29th, already November the 30th in Ukraine. Want to welcome you here, as always, 4 a.m. in Ukraine. And yes, by a miracle tonight, we do have Zhenya with us, and I want to jump straight to it because I do not know how long we're going to be able to have him tonight. So a big thank you to all. We've had a lot of new comments, a lot of new people jumping in and becoming a part of the community and giving thanks for what we do every day. And for that, we say thank you as well. Thank you tonight to our moderators. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for everyone that's giving financially, giving products to our Amazon list. 3 more boxes came in today. It is awesome. And for that, we are deeply grateful. And for those of you sending finances, I know all about them. We know all about them. And those finances are being used to purchase more products on your behalf off of our Amazon list. So thank you, thank you, thank you. With all that said, let's get him in here because, as I said, not sure how long we're going to have him. Good morning to you, dear sir.
Oh, good evening. Good evening.
So let's just go ahead and tell everybody, no power, no heat.
No.
And you're cold.
Yeah, a little bit. It's okay.
And it
No
looks
internet.
like everything is normal, but it's not. You
Yeah.
had to cook tonight on a propane burner.
Yes. Good.
And
I have it.
And right now you're running the entire system, which is connecting through a mobile device and an antenna. The light on your flag back there is an LED, very little power consumption. The light on you, LED, and you're charging a phone, everything. Can you show everybody what your power source is right now?
Okay. On the kitchen, in this piece of the power bank, and in another room for internet, I'm having the car battery there.
Okay, so you're able to connect to us tonight because of a car battery.
Yes.
And everything else is because of that little white power bank.
Yes.
So, folks, there you have it. You know the importance of power banks. And, well, we're glad you're here. So let's don't waste any time. Let's jump right to it because we're potentially expecting a large missile attack today. It did not happen as of right now, but other things did happen in accordance with it. And we're going to look at that. So let's jump in right now to that. And I think everything's ready to go. So here's what happened in a nutshell. The bombers flew for 4.5 hours today. They flew the borders. They flew over occupied territory, but they never released the missiles, and they were never fired from the Caspian or the Black Sea. But intense shelling took place today in Slavyansk, Kramatorsk, Bakhmut, Nikopol, Kherson. We're going to look at all of that. What happened? We were prepared. We were talking right before going online tonight that everybody was concerned when Ukraine came out yesterday and said 90% chance they're going to be attacking us. But it looks like this strategy may have worked, at least for today.
Yeah, like our guys were preparing the best way, and not just like that. They let it know to the people. They were preparing people, and all the air defense system were like ready. They said, we are ready. They posted that we are ready. So I think it was one of the reasons why they didn't do the big attack, because they're looking for effectiveness. They're looking for the ways to destroy the system and to kill the people.
Well, this goes back to what you were saying earlier, maybe 2 days ago, that we were expecting the next attacks to be maybe in a daylight or at a time when it was unexpected. And on this one for today, Ukraine was ready. They put the warning out, and I'm sure that was a calculated risk to do that, but it turns out that was pretty wise. In fact, let me play this. Erstovich came out and discussed it. Here he is.
Забываем про угрозы воздушных налетов, и сегодня была попытка. Тревогу объявили, мы быстро отменили. Самолеты реально были в воздухе, они реально были там не менее 4,5 часов. Мы ожидали удар, но удар не нанесли. Ну, могли быть тренировочные, могли просто выявлять. Сегодня многие задумались, почему это произошло. Могли выявлять позиции ПВО, смотреть, как мы реагируем. Могли тренироваться и одновременно выявлять позиции ПВО на приемы и способы наших действий и так далее. Там, вскрывать группировку, потому что висели Ил-22 сегодня. Это самолеты, которые могут вести до определенного... Они самолеты-ретрансляторы, то есть управление ходом боевых действий в воздухе, но до некоторой степени могут вести и разведку, особенно в комплексе с другими средствами. Так что, вполне возможно, они вскрывали нашу группировку ПВО, потому что, конечно, их абсолютно не устраивает результат, когда из 90 запускаемых ракет 70 сбивают. Очень неэффективно. Очень дорогие и неэффективны. Вот, поэтому, да, они ищут приемы и способы новые боевых действий. Я думаю, что они сегодня потренировали.
I think that's exactly what we're talking about. And that, of course, is Erstovich. He's speaking in Ukrainian there very, very, very quickly. But thank you to Vladimir Zelensky doing our translations today and our subtitles. He did a great job. Got another one for you in a minute. But he talked about the IL-22s. So they're Ilyushin 22s. They are basically like American AWACS. For those of you that are in here that are Americans and know about our Air Force, that's the AWACS. Basically, the brain center in the sky. The Ilyushin 22s were running today, running all the reconnaissance, and the Ilyushin 76 and the MiGs were in the air. And you heard it from Arestovich, 4.5 hours. They didn't fire a missile. But better than you and I talking, that was Arestovich. He gave a great understanding of what happened. Now, with that said, it still was a very tough day for Ukraine. You see the highlighted areas here in the east and in the south. Going to look at them a little bit closer right now. This is the east, of course. So today, instead of a heavy cruise missile type attack, Slavyansk, a city that we work a lot in, Kramatorsk, and Bakhmut were shelled massively. Maybe this was the strategy. I don't know. To draw attention to the sky, kind of be thinking about that, and then shell without limitation. This is actually a zoom in on Bakhmut, where we can see that the Russian forces are trying to encircle it. You see a 9-1 there. That also came out of Kyiv today, that the new numbers are they have a 9-1 shell advantage for Ukraine against Ukraine, meaning every one shell that Ukraine fires, Russia has the ability to fire 9. We drop down, and then I'll get your comments on this. In the blue is the city of Avdiivka, just right outside Donetsk. Russia shelled Avdiivka very heavily today, of course, trying to encircle that. And the final one, Kherson. Today, they were shelling hospitals. So, not the cruise missiles flying as we were expecting. Thankful that they did not, but really heavy day of fighting on the front lines and shelling.
I think the Aristovich said correctly. Did explain the situation. But it could be one of the reason why they were doing it. It's to find out and to learn how our air defense system works, and maybe they can prepare a little bit. Maybe they have own like spies here and so on. Maybe they have something they're checking. And yes, the shelling. It's so for Avdiivka. They're trying to make a circle to surround it, but they will not. This place are quite prepared, and I think they can do a lot of let's say attempts and put a lot of efforts, but they will not have success in here. I think so, because this area, I mean, it's a strong. I mean, on the Ukrainian side, it's strong. Yes, it's not easy. Yes, it's hard, and our guys doing a great job there. Coming to Bakhmut, we were discussing it just some in the previous program. Let's say they are using their artillery, trying to destroy the city completely. For Ukraine, would not protect. Would have nothing to protect. No people, no buildings. Like this is their idea. Plus, they like to have like examples like showing that this is the place we want to make from with every city until you are surrender. So this is one of their strategy, and it's not just for Ukraine; it's for other countries as well. They quite know well that other countries are watching, and the idea is to bring a fear when it comes about Russia to European countries and other countries. And this is one of the idea why they crazy way they destroying it.
That's the
And
strategy.
one more thing.
Go ahead.
Yes. One more thing. It's they doing everything for Ukraine would be answering by artillery. They know the situation with the supplying of artillery shells. We have a serious situation, and they doing everything for Ukraine would use these lefts we have. So we
They're
really
wanting us to
need
run
and
out
we
of
wait for
supply
support.
because as the winter comes, it's going to be more difficult to supply. That's just a fact. So they're with a 9-1 advantage. They want you to burn all of those ones. That's logical. Now, in addition to that, once again, Zaporozhye nuclear power plant struck again today, and there's a picture of it with the Russian flag flying in front of it. So you can see the missiles didn't fly, but they were striking everywhere. Now, in regard to the energy grid, in regard to power, you're seeing right now, Zhenya streaming tonight through a mobile phone. His mobile router is connected to a car battery, and everything else is on a power bank, and he cooked for himself on a propane little burner. That's what he's got today. But let's hear, Zolik was also able to get this translated for us and subbed. Let's check on the power tonight directly from Kyiv.
Попри постійні обстріли нашої енергосистеми, вона залишається цілісною. Заживлені всі регіони України, окрім Херсонської області. Наразі виробництво електроенергії в країні покриває 70% від потреб у споживанні, а 30% – це дефіцит, який коригується обмеженнями споживання. Обленерго-розподільчі компанії, які відповідальні за поставку електроенергії безпосередньо споживачам, зараз мають можливість визначати, за якими графіками чергувати це постачання. Працює це наступним чином. Укренерго доводить до обленерго обсяги споживання, які можна поставити в той чи інший регіон від електростанцій. Далі вже обленерго визначають, кого вони вимкнуть, щоб дотримувати встановлених лімітів. Зараз перед обленерго стоїть два завдання – не перевищувати надані НЕК «Укренерго» ліміти, адже саме через це доводиться застосовувати екстрені відключення і, по-друге, мінімізувати нерівномірне відключення споживачів. Що саме мається на увазі? Не допустимо, щоб в одних будинках світла не було по 20-30 годин, а інколи по 40 годин, тоді як інші залишаються зі світлом цілодобово. Це питання справедливості. Також попрошу місцеву владу долучитись до комунікації та пояснити людям, чому деякі будинки не відключають, з яких причин, з якими об'єктами критичної інфраструктури вони пов'язані. Так, ситуація складна, є дефіцит, але при дефіциті в системі в 30% в витратах мережі і першочерговому заживленні критичної інфраструктури для населення в кожній області залишається 50-60% на покриття потреб. Цього достатньо, щоб рівномірно розподілити навантаження вимушених відключень між усіма споживачами, щоб у людей вмикали світло принаймні на 5-6 годин на день.
So all of that, that's the big picture. Who is that? That's Denis Shmyhal. Who is he? The Prime Minister of Ukraine, talking about the system and what they're having to experience. We're watching it now tonight on this update. If the man didn't have batteries, he'd be sitting completely in the dark. So basically what he said, we're going to try to spread it out through our whole country, but you can expect 5 to 6 hours of power a day. And please understand, when you see some homes, it looks like the lights do not go out. They're connected to critical infrastructure. It may be a hospital. It may be some type of plant. And he's asking Ukrainians to work together and local authorities to help make this process smoothly. Does that cover it?
By the way, I didn't tell it to you, and just 2 hours before, maybe less, I got a call. The one woman, she is asking for help for transporting the military staff to their relatives. But she said she lives close to Netyshin. It's, Netyshin, it's Shepetovska, it's Khmelnytsky power plant. And it's 100 some kilometers from us. She said that they have electricity just 4 hours a day.
That's the nuclear power plant she's living next to.
Yes.
And she has electricity 4 hours a day.
Yes, she says that internet on the mobile, zero. Just when it comes to 4 hours a day, during that 4 hours, they have to do everything they can.
Charge the power.
Using the electricity. Everything. And she said, how do you have the internet? I said, using the antenna. She went, okay, tell me this secret. It's terrible. I have nothing. I don't know what's going on in the world.
For you yourself, so that lady living right next to the nuclear power plant there in Khmelnytsky, 4 hours a day, and that'll be the situation. One of the reasons that we're able to connect, and maybe people have figured it out after 279 days, and you can close your ears on this one, but folks, he's like really smart. And we've got a great team of nerds there and computer hackers and smart people that can do anything at all under the sun. So we're going to have internet. It's why I'm not concerned when I go over there. They say, well, if you're heading over there in a month, what's it going to be like then? I'm not worried about it. As long as a nuke hasn't dropped, I'm going to be there. That's the only reason I will not be going to Ukraine. I'm not worried about the power. As always, what do we say? We'll find a way, period.
Yeah,
we'll find a way. So he is able to connect with us. They find a way. We've got a great team, but I feel sorry for people that do not have the resources or, the teamwork to make that happen. Now, for you personally, what are you experiencing a day? How many hours are you averaging power off at your place on average?
Today, average, it depends on the day. You cannot calculate. Like the minimum, it's usually 4 hours I'm switched off a day. That's it. For the rest, it depends. Like today, seems to me, since 2 p.m. until now.
So longer today.
Much longer. It's like I see the temperature when it's coming down. It means that the time or the weather takes its own. On the temperature.
And unfortunately, just logically, when that power's off, the temperature's going down in your home. It's getting chilly. You already told me when we connected. It's cold in here, and no heat. But then it takes that energy to heat the home back up. So you're constantly battling that up and down. It's very, very difficult right now. Now, with that said, let's jump to a couple of other things. And this is the title of the program tonight. NATO commits to future Ukraine membership and starts calling for more aid. Now, this is good. Why? Because they're beginning to finally figure it out that Russia is not going to quit. Russia will not quit in this war. Reznikov says here that more weapon systems were delivered from France. That's good news. We're hearing some chatter out of NATO that they will consider sending even heavier and more. So that's good. Now, with all that happening today, you get some of this madness. No place for Ukraine at the NATO table. Hungary, Orban, blocked Kuleba, the foreign minister from Ukraine, from meeting with NATO. He blocked them. The only way that some NATO nations can meet with Kuleba, well, they'll have to do it privately, like in a different closed session. But as far as a full NATO meeting, you have Orban blocking it. So it's not going to be easy, but NATO in general says we're committed. In fact, I'll get this from Jens Stoltenberg, and then we'll get your comment on it.
We will do what is necessary to protect and defend all allies. Here in Bucharest, NATO foreign ministers will address ways to step up our support for Ukraine, as well as other partners facing Russian pressure, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Georgia and Moldova. We cannot let Putin win. This would show authoritarian leaders around the world that they can achieve their goals by using military force and make the world a more dangerous place for all of us. So it is in our own security interests to support Ukraine.
So there you have it. Hopefully,
Yeah, we were telling it from the beginning.
we've been telling
It's
it.
for the security
Nobody
reasons of.
Nobody listens to us.
I mean, like, would they? Yes, like we were telling it. Hey, it's not the security just of Ukraine. It's for your security reasons, and it's better not to have it not too late.
Correct.
I would say.
And maybe they're waking up to it, but it's good news that NATO says they're going to follow through with their membership vow to Ukraine. Now, it's not happening tomorrow. It's not happening by Christmas, but just the thought and the statement that Ukraine will be coming into NATO at some point, that's just going to rattle the bear's cage. We know that. U.S. saying that they'll even look for some ways. I think I've got that right here. U.S. says, you know what? We're even looking at the potential of transferring maybe some Patriots to Ukraine directly, bypassing NATO. That was a little bit of talk out of Washington, D.C. today. And with that, let me go here. With that, Medvedev says if Patriots come into Ukraine, they're targets, and we're going to be going for them. I think what we're going to see over the next couple of months is an escalation in this war that's going to push us to a place that we're going to see how it's going to turn, with NATO and foreign nations stepping in to help defend Ukraine. That's where I think we're headed, and I do not think Russia will quit, period. I'm going to show something about that in just a second.
Mm-hmm. For us, it's the only possibility to win and to stay on the level we stay right now, if only our partners, the other countries, will not stop supplying the weapon. Otherwise, we cannot produce the same way or the same level. We have some really good, but the amount is really, just a few. We produce in Ukraine, producing the shells already for artillery. Not all, but there is some kinds we're producing non-stop. But like 30%, seems to me the 30% of artillery we got from abroad already need a service because it's because of the quantity of fires.
Yeah.
It's just reality.
Well, not only that, they're going to need service not only from the quantity of firing, but also getting into this winter weather. We're going to have breakdowns. So we're not only going to need shells, we're going to need repairs, we're going to need parts, we're going to need a complexity of things. And if the world and NATO step up, we're going to win this war. And we will win the war because I believe they are going to step up. But I also believe at the same time, Russia's not going to quit because losing is not an option. This came off of, I think this was on Večer last night. Of course, on Russia 1. Listen to them talking about the possibility of losing.
Что хочу сказать? Я хочу сказать, что если мы умудримся проиграть, Гаага, условная или конкретная, ждет даже дворника, который брусчатку внутри за Кремлевской стеной подметает. Что от того, еще один район Киева останется без света или не останется, масштаб катастрофы, которой обернется наша страна, если мы умудримся это сделать, даже его представить себе
А мы не можем
нельзя.
проиграть.
Поэтому Гааги боятся в лес не ходить.
Просто не будет никакой Гааги. Если так случится, то...
Ничего не будет.
О чем и речь? Весь мир в труху.
Just what arrogance, if we lose, everybody's going to lose. And of course, a lot of that's fear mongering, a lot of that's propaganda. But at the same time, you have to hear the message. They're not quitting. So we'll see what happens. And it's ugly. I will tell you this, Zhenya. It's right here. Go ahead. Go ahead. I know you want to.
Yeah,
talk about them nuts.
Yeah, it's not about them. The Russia is already, they showed their position, and for them it's like a question of, let's say, of being alive like Russia, because their leaders put them in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So they will not quit. They're producing. It's a big place. It's a lot of people. It's a big country. They have a lot of factories which is producing this weapon, all their weapon. So, for Ukraine, it's for us not possible to quit, to stop, because we already lost some territories. We're fighting for our territories. Plus, for us, it's a question of surviving as a nation. So the thing is, we need the weapon for the NATO countries, for the world, the countries who support us. If Ukraine loses, for example, which will not, but Russia will gain tens of other countries in
Correct.
their union, military union, and they will be starting own wars at any place. So, and plus, international law will be destroyed at all. It will be, it will mean zero, because this is what Russia is trying to prove, to make that the new world order is the order of power, the weapon of power. So this is reality. Plus, inside of all of these countries, who were especially giving any promises and guarantees for other nations, it will be inside, it will be, I would say, the inside war. Plus, so the only way it's to help Ukraine to get a peace, to help Ukraine as much as possible with weapon. For Ukraine will get the situation with answering on the attacks on their military bases. My personal opinion. The third, the economic isolation. We cannot trade billion, sending billion US dollars to Russia a day, and then 5 million for the weapon for Ukraine, just that we're helping. It is not real. This will bring that the inside of countries, people will say, okay, maybe stop. We're tired of the other way. If Russia will be isolated economically, doesn't matter a lot of things. With the time, they will get to the result of inside problems if they will be economically isolated.
We will not even go to the point tonight. Don't even go to the point tonight where nations around the world are profiting off of this war. Profiting. Yes. And you have to get beyond the profit, get beyond the money. And I hope Day 279 that the world's starting to figure it out. NATO's figuring it out. They're just slow to figure it out. And I think a lot of that comes because, it's just like a mystery. And unfortunately, they do not understand, or they don't choose to understand, that Soviet mentality that for sure is reigning at the Kremlin. And you've got power.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that means some more minutes and we will have a heat.
Praise God, you're going to have some heat.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah,
What's,
but you
beeping?
started. You mentioned
there's nothing getting ready to blow up or something, is it?
No.
Okay.
Not my
It stopped.
refrigerator says. Okay. Yeah. So you said about the secret, the mystery.
Yeah.
This is a problem. The whole world has to know the truth about what and who Russia is.
Correct.
What they are doing doesn't matter what they are saying, what they're doing. Plus, I think the whole world as well need to realize how much money all the countries are sending to Russia. Their money, their money, because they have, all the countries has the options and the choice where to buy the power, the gas, the oils, and whatever. And at this moment, it's a big fail of the world. Russia made countries working for them.
Later tonight, later in the evening, NATO came back out again. Stoltenberg, speaking for them, of course, said there's no place for Iranian supplies in Russia. NATO will increase to match it. But this relationship here, we've talked about it. It's a growing relationship between Russia and Iran. And of course, you've got major money flowing there. I will tell you this, the United States beat Iran today in the World Cup. So
okay.
So we're happy about that. Let's go to the last couple of things for tonight. I know you've got power. You need to get your family taken care of, get some heat going, and
yes,
you need to go to sleep. But let's take a look at this. You sent me a couple of pictures and you sent me a video. This is some of our deliveries, our community. So a big thank you to everybody that's here. A thank you for your support. But you can see what do we got here going.
I mean, in some other
stuff.
Yes, it's a real front lines. The people, people got it. They're using it. They're thankful. And they said by sending this picture, they're saying thank you to all the people who are helping us.
Yeah,
and you see they got it.
Look at that picture on the left. So what have we provided? I see little gas burner. I see propane gas. I see headlights. I see bed mats. On the right, I see more fuel, bed mats, sleeping bag. I see a nice AK there, it looks like.
Not us. Not ours. That's it.
What is that? I can't see. It's upside down to me.
Okay.
Nice weapon. Anyway, it's very, very good, and happy about it. In addition to that, here's another photo. Same with the guy down there using the stuff, got his head covered. And I mean, this gives a great illustration of how he's living right there.
Yeah.
So,
he found a place, I don't know, and he laid it out and to show that he got it all. He thankful.
Well,
and they were using, you see that he pulled out the stove and preparing it for check.
Yeah, that would be the red and blue. There's the stove right in the foreground on the map, and then he's prepping the propane to connect to it. So I see wipes in there. I see some food supplies. We're taking care of them. So
there is honey.
Very thankful. Very thankful. For the last thing tonight, we also got some crazy video from some cat. Check this one.
Hello. As I did promise, today, just 10 minutes ago, I gave out and wait for the pictures. 6 tourniquets, Cat 7, 3 power banks, and the honey, the box of energy bars, the headlight, and etc. So it goes to 1 to 8 brigade, and it goes to other area. If I name the brigade, I cannot say the direction they're going. Okay, and right now I'm sending something interesting. It says, okay, made in the USA, and it's to our good friend, and he's in the military, and he's one of our heroes, and he needed that, so I bought it from us all. It's a thermoset. It's a good quality winter thermo, and thank you, non-stop.
What you got in your hand there?
The tourniquets. Yeah.
He was showing to me
I've got.
while that video was playing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let me teach you a new English word. Let me teach you a new English word. You ready?
Okay. Yeah.
So that gray suit of thermals, not a thermos, thermals that you're sending to our friend.
Okay.
So I'm going to teach you an American English word. Ready? Long johns.
Long johns.
You got it. When I get there in a month, I will have multiple sets of long johns, and I'll have some super long johns for you. That's how you say it. Thermal underwear.
Got it. Yeah.
Well, listen, we couldn't do it. All this stuff that people see at the end of the stream tonight, you see. We're putting it in people's hands. That's your giving, your finances, your Amazon, everything. We're all working together. And as always, we want to say thank you. So there you have it.
And still coming. And still coming more. We will be sending it the next week, next days. Guys will be getting more and more. And it will protect their lives. Thank
Correct.
you.
Yep. So thank you, my man. I'm glad your lights came back on. Get warmed up.
Super. Thank you.
All right, buddy. We'll holler at you tomorrow. A good night to all.
Yeah. To all, good night.